Greetings, demons, and welcome to Warhammer Weekly episode 28. So, with the Nova Open previews coming out, we have actually got a lot to talk about this week, so I'm not going to, preamble too much. We're just going to get into it. I don't actually think I picked anything up this week, which is kind of weird, but if I do find anything, I'll just throw it in after the intro, but let's just get into it.
Not the leader of a cult, rabbit with sax.
So, getting into the first topic, we have a new free miniature of the month, along with a new coin to talk about, and this time around, it is one of the new Hormagaunts. So, basically, it's just the same as we had a couple months ago with the Termagant, though this time it is one of the new Leviathanized, new versions of the Hormagaunt, and, honestly, I'm really excited for this. The first monthly model I ever picked up was the old Hormagaunt. Hormagaunts are my favourite gaunt in Warhammer in general, so I'm very excited to pick up a new one. I don't actually have any normal Hormagaunts yet, because I never started building a Tyranid army until Leviathan came out, and I just, haven't bought it was on pre-order now, but I haven't got the Hormagaunts yet. So, this will be available from the 9th of September, which is, only a few days away, only 6 days away, less than a week, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up. I'm very excited for this. This is honestly, this is big. I'm looking forward to having some actual Hormagaunts, some new Hormagaunts on the table, and, just in general, I'm looking forward to seeing them in person, because the pictures, I don't think they look that different from the old Hormagaunt. We'll see, though. I'm not going to get into it too much with this, because it's the monthly model, but we also have a new coin, and that is the Cities of Sigmar collectible coin, and, that's... It's the Cities of Sigmar symbol. It's pretty simple. It's just a hammer over a sun with a bit of lining around it. It's pretty simple, but it's a very nice coin, especially if you are a Age of Sigmar fan. Kind of weird that we're not getting... I'm not going to get into it too much, but the last few months we've supposed to be having the Imperialis stuff, so the fact we haven't had any of that yet, especially the coin, a bit weird, but that stuff is still a little bit a ways down the line, so the coin will be available from the 2nd of September, and you get that by spending £60 in the Warhammer stores. I was going to say Games Workshop, they haven't been called that in years. But if you spend £60 in Warhammer stores, like the officially licensed Warhammer stores, from the 2nd of September, so from yesterday, you will get the Cities of Sigmar collectible coin. But that is all for that. So let's move on to the actual Nova Open previews, because there are a lot of them. And starting off, I'm not fully going to go in the order that they revealed them, but I am generally going to be going in the order that I think makes the most sense. So starting off with 40k, we have the multi-part Terminator kits, as well as a bunch of other new Terminators. So just quickly going over the multi-part Terminator kits, they look great. They look absolutely amazing. I'm very happy. It appears that the monopose ones from the Leviathan box are not the preferred option by the looks of it, because all these poses look very distinct from those. And I'm sure there's going to be ways of building those exact poses if you are so interested. It would make sense anyway. But the variety of poses and the variety of weapon options and stuff like that, the fact that these have the chain fists, the fact that I don't know if it shows it in the main pictures, we've seen different heavy weapons for them. It's just all so great. And generally, I'm very excited to be picking up 1, 2, maybe 3 of these kits, just to have a bunch of Terminators built. I love my Terminators. I only just finished building the Leviathan ones, just because I was putting it off because I didn't want to be disappointed, and I was worried that I was going to be. I was really excited for these, and I was like, if these aren't up to standard, I'm not going to be very happy. And obviously I've been building some older Terminators as well, which I just didn't own Terminators. Until Leviathan, I didn't own Terminators. But I always loved them. I always loved the design. I just didn't want to buy them and then be like, this isn't actually that good. So, very, very excited for these. Having built the Leviathan ones, so excited. These look great. And generally, I'm just looking forward to doing a bit of customization on some of these as well, making them a bit more Death Watch. I've decided with Deathwatch, just as a little bit of a tangent, I've decided with my Deathwatch Terminators, I'm not bothering with the actual Deathwatch shoulder pad. I'm going to be just painting that shoulder pad, the I guess their left shoulder pad as silver, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to be changing them out to be a different shoulder pad. I want them to be the one from the actual Terminator. The only exception to that is with characters. Obviously, my captain and my librarian both already have the Deathwatch shoulder pad, and that's going to be how it's going to be. So, yeah, moving on to the Terminator Chaplain, and a lot of people have been very mixed on this. I've got to say, I'm actually personally very, very happy with this design. It looks great, in my opinion. I love that the actual armor is shaped like the ribcage. It's something we have seen before with other Chaplain designs, but yeah, this one just looks excellent to me. I am definitely going to be swapping out that head for something that's a little bit more Terminator. I understand that lower jaw thing is actually a common Terminator thing, and it's the default head for like the captain, and stuff like that. But like, it's not for me. I want a full like skull-ish Terminator head, which I'm gonna definitely look into that, see if I can find something a little bit better. But yeah, it's excellent. I'm a huge fan of Chaplains. I only currently have the Chaplain on bike, but that model is one of my favorites that I have. So very excited to get a Chaplain Terminator armor, and yeah, the options are actually pretty decent. They're not too extensive, but you obviously have the difference between Stormbolter or Storm Shield, which is very nice to see. And just generally, like, I'm sure the options in terms of just slight changes to the design, just adding little bits and bobs, is probably going to be there. I would be surprised if they make a Terminator Chaplain that doesn't have a few different options for how it can, like, be, cosmetically upgraded. But we'll see, I guess. And once again, this will be one that I do actually switch out the shoulder pad for. Just because I want my characters to be very distinctly Deathwatch, but this is all beside the point. Let's move on to the Captain in Terminator Armor full kit. And honestly, I'm amazed how different this guy looks. Obviously, he's always going to be different. He's not fighting the Tyranids specifically, which actually makes him way worse for my forces. But yeah, I really do enjoy what we've seen so far of this Captain. We actually see a very nice variant with what I guess is an Iron... Is it Iron Hands? Is the Loyalist chapter? The Iron Hands Terminator, which is very nice. You lose the Tabard. And just generally, you get the Power Fist and stuff. It's a lot of good variety. The fact that we're so far seeing the Stormbolter, the Hand Flamer, the Power Sword, and the Power Fist. There are other options. It does actually list a few other things that you can have, but already, just seeing those, this looks excellent. All the little trinkets and stuff, and the purity seals and whatever else, look great. And I've done this with a few models already, but the little Imperial... I don't even know what to call it, but the little skull on the plus... I've been replacing that with the Imperial insignia, the Inquisition insignia even, and I think I'll be doing that if I end up picking up this Captain. I probably won't, just because I already have the Leviathan one, and that one works way better as being, a Deathwatch Captain, but yeah, very, very cool. I'm really looking forward to all of these. I probably will end up picking eventually up the Terminator Captain, but that one's a little bit down the line. I'll be definitely pre-ordering the Chaplain and the regular Terminators, that's for sure. But yeah, just overall, just some very, very cool new Terminators. Very excited for those. And we can move on to the next 40k stuff, which honestly I am similarly excited for. It is the Jump Pack units. We have Jump Pack Assault Intercessors, and honestly, I don't love the bases, but the poses are pretty good, and the actual models themselves, like the actual... Jump Packs and the Assault Intercessors themselves look excellent to me. I really like this. As someone who doesn't actually have any Jump Pack troops built, but does own a few Jump Packs, just because I wanted to eventually. I wasn't expecting this anytime soon, honestly. I'm very excited for this. So, the, what are they called? Lieutenants? No, that's not a lieutenant. The leader unit, anyway, I can't remember what they are. They're not corporals. Whatever the leader unit is, I love his little, I don't remember what kind of sword that is, but it's a it's like a pirate style sword where it's got like the thing blocking your hand and stuff. Just a very, very cool aesthetic there. I'm really looking forward to actually building this because I'm going to be getting these assault intercessors. I already own 2 normal sets of assault intercessors and some regular intercessors, so definitely adding some jetpack or jump pack assault intercessors is going to be great there. But yeah, they all just look excellent. The options seem pretty decent. Like, as I say, the leader model does have the power sword, whereas all the rest seem to have the chain sword and bolt pistol combo, which I think looks great. The poses for some of them are better than others. There's some of them that are close to the ground, and I'm like, that's a little bit less obvious that they're, jumping around, and it looks a little bit less weird, because the ones that are, like, leaping from tall rocks, I don't know, there's something about that I don't quite like. I'll definitely probably put them on some sort of wire or something like that instead to make them look a bit more like the flying when I get them, but generally they do look excellent. I'm really looking forward to them, and of course it wouldn't be jump packs without getting a captain, and oh, this captain looks excellent. He's probably one of my favourite standard Primaris Intercessor captains. We've got a lot of them, to be fair, but there's something about this one that just tickles me. I really do enjoy it. The flowing cape is excellent. The the heavily customized chainsword is it's so good. I'll definitely be switching the helmet out for something a little bit less Ultramarines, but honestly, it all looks so good. The decorated alternate shoulder pad is absolutely excellent. Just in general, such a great model. And we do actually see an alternate look at what I guess is a Blood Angels design, and that looks great as well. Power Fist and Hand Flamer once again. Just some really good options. I'm glad they are showing the options for the captains in terms of like how they could be used in a different unit other than Ultramarines, because let's be honest, like as much as there are plenty of Ultramarines players, just give us a little bit of a taste of what the other chapters look like. And yeah, they've done a great job with the Terminator one being Iron Hands, and with the Jump Pack one being Blood Angels. Just some excellent models here, and yeah, I'm definitely picking up this captain. I was speaking to some of my friends that play Warhammer about the fact that, do I really need another captain just because it has a jump pack? And I think I do. I think I honestly really do. But yeah, a very good selection of models. Definitely be picking these up. This so far, like every Nova preview, I'm pretty sure for the entirety of 40k, I'm going to be picking up because they all just look excellent, and they're all things that I either need or want to upgrade. So very happy with that. But moving on, we have the heroes of the chapter. So I'm going to quickly gloss over this article. If you check the description below, it does also include the information about the codex. I'm not going to get into that because I don't really feel a need to. I'm sure when that comes out, people are going to talk about it a little more. When I actually get my hands on it, I'll talk about it a bit more. But for now, it is happening. Space Marine Codex, it looks great. But moving on to the actual models, we have new company heroes, and this is a really odd selection. So, obviously, we've had company heroes in Firstborn scale for a long time. They're very old models, but yeah, it's the return of the captain and his entourage. So we basically get one captain, which is a very nice captain, very different power sword, and I believe that it isn't a bolter. I can't actually identify which weapon that actually is, but in any case, power sword and some sort of gun, some sort of pistol, and then he's followed by 2 of his guard, which look absolutely excellent. They're very standardized looking, intercessors essentially, but they do look very good. You have a heavy weapon specialist, and then you have a banner waver, which I don't believe is something we've actually seen in Primaris scale, which is really interesting to me. I'm really looking forward to getting these. I'm hoping that I'm able to modify these a bit more because I want them to look more Deathwatchy. But hopefully the options in the box are going to vary that out enough. I'm probably going to pick up the old company heroes because I know that one is a good bits box. So hopefully I can modify some stuff into the new ones to make them a little bit more customized. But yeah, company heroes, it's a good selection of models. I don't know how good they're going to be in game right now, but yeah, it's a nice selection. It's some more veterans, which is what I always like to run in my Death Watch. So yeah, just generally pretty good. And then we of course have the Sternguard veterans as well, the multi-part kit, and the back banner is back. The banner that connects to the actual backpack is actually coming back, and it's really interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, these Sternguard look excellent. I did also recently finish building my Leviathan Sternguard. They weren't a unit I was very interested in. I'm going to be completely honest. I was actually expecting not to, really like them. But honestly, they look excellent. They're more, well, basically they're more veterans for my Death Watch. So it's always good to have, and they just look excellent in general. There's so many just great different stances, so many different poses. The variety of weapons is excellent, and obviously Sternguard can run, I think it's 2 per squad of 5 special weapons. So we have like a melter and a combi flamer, I think it is, or a multi-flamer, something like that. Just a lot of really, really cool models, really cool weapon options, and just generally, I'm excited for this. Once again, not something that I would have been saying a few months ago that I'd be picking up the multi-part kit for the Sternguard, but these look excellent. I'm definitely picking them up as more veterans. And just generally, just some very, very nice looking models that I'm definitely looking forward to getting. But moving on to the last thing for 40k proper, and that is the new Space Marine Scouts. And yeah, of all the 40k stuff, this is the only one that I might not end up getting. These look excellent. They're such a step up from the previous Scouts. And I say that, as someone who never really had an interest in Scouts before. These look great. These look very good. They look like the Invitiates, or whatever they're called, from the Black Templar, which makes a lot of sense, to be fair. But yeah, just generally, just some very nice Scout designs. The shotguns look great. The various like swords and knives and stuff are all very good. And yeah, the head options. They're the one thing that turns me away, because obviously Scouts don't have helmets. They have the little earpiece or the rebreathers, and that's really it. And unfortunately, that kind of means that I'm not interested. I like my Scouts in general. Like, I like the aesthetic of them. I don't want to have to paint bare heads. And unless I can find some decent Scout-style Space Marine helmets, I'm probably never going to end up picking them up, unfortunately, which is a shame because they do look excellent. The options look great. The actual posing is really well done, and it's such a massive step up from the previous design. But yeah, I'm probably not going to end up getting these in the end, as much as I do like them. I might get the Speeder if it comes back. If we get a Storm Speeder that's got Scouts in it, I might get that one. But as is, the options look great. As I say, there's like a grappling hook, there's a sniper rifle, a heavy, what are they called? Heavy bolt gun, a rocket launcher, which is something that we don't actually have in the current Primaris line, which is pretty funny. It's a firstborn rocket launcher being held by a Primaris scale Scout, which is really fun. But yeah, they're very nice models. If I can find some sort of helmet option that makes sense for them, I might do that. But right now, I'm very much in the mindset of I'm probably not going to be getting them just for the basis of not wanting to paint skin, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And yeah, otherwise that is all of the 40k stuff. So I guess we'll move on to 30k. So, starting off with the Horus Heresy, I think I would be amiss if I didn't start with this one. The Deredeo is coming to plastic, and yeah, this is definitely something I'm picking up. I currently have the, what's it called? The Contemptor? I'm about to call it the Leviathan. I don't have a Leviathan, but I do have a Contemptor, and it's one of my favourites that I own. I own quite a few Dreadnoughts at this point, and honestly, yeah, the Contemptor is one of my favourites, and the Deredeo is just so ridiculous that I love it. I really do love the Deredeo, as much as it is a bit of a meme, and it's literally just a weapons platform on legs. I really do like it. The plasma options are excellent for it, and just generally, just having it in plastic means that it's so much more accessible to me. I was very close. I had it in the basket at one point for the Forge World version. It's very expensive. I'm glad I didn't get it. And, it pays off because now, oh boy, plastic Deredeo, the plastic Dorito Dreadnought, it's just, who would have thought it, Who would have thought it? But I really do love this design, and I'm really just looking forward to seeing it in person, honestly. I've seen the Deredeo a few times, the Forge World one. in person, and it's nice. It looks great. It looks exactly like the pictures, really, but I'm hoping the plastic one is just a little bit smoother, because, Forge World resin, it's fine, but it's never perfect. So hopefully having it in plastic is going to make it so much better. But yeah, the Deredeo, very much looking forward to this. Going to be picking at least one of them up. Might pick up two. I don't play 30k, but I love the aesthetic of the 30k Dreadnoughts. So, the Contemptor's the only one I can actually run in 40k, but I'll probably pick up a Deredeo or two just to have the options. And yeah, very much looking forward to that. It's such a good model to have in plastic. Very much looking forward to it. And also revealed at the Nova Open for Horus Heresy, and this was a real bait and switch by the sounds of it. I wasn't actually watching at this point. I was only able to watch during my break at work, so I got to see a little bit of the Age of Sigmar stuff, but we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, blessed by the Dark Prince. We have Fulgrim, the Demon Primarch, which is just ridiculous. And obviously, it's, Forge World, it's resin. I'm not looking forward to seeing those wings in resin, honestly, but this is an excellent model in pretty much every regard. It looks so good. The serpentineness is amazing. The multiple arms, the giant wings, they are so big. I'm looking forward to actually seeing size comparisons between this and, Knights, or Titans even, because this is going to be so big, because, by default, Primarchs are always big, then Demon Primarchs are a bit bigger, and then this guy has wings that stretch taller, they over double his height. They're like a full 150% taller than him, so it's just, it's crazy to me how just big this model is going to be, but, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this painted up. I might end up picking it up. I do love Demon Fulgrim, and it seems as Emperor's Children are still a few years out. I very well might end up picking this model. It might be the first major Forge World purchase I make, which would be very funny to me. But yeah, I'm obviously a Thousand Suns player, not a Emperor's Children player. I just really like, compared to Magnus. As much as I like Magnus, Magnus is great. Magnus did nothing wrong. I don't love his model in 40k. I'm not a huge... And it is one that I'll end up picking up eventually, but I've been waiting on a 30k Magnus, Demon Prince model, because I'm hoping that will be better, even if it is Forge World. And, with Fulgrim, I'm just looking at this and going, I can't wait for Emperor's Children to come out, because if it's even, close to this quality, it'll be amazing. The armor is covered in eyes and other Slaneshi imagery and stuff. Just, it's so good. The sword is excellent with the little Slaneshi eye and stuff. Just so much great stuff here, and I'm really looking forward to actually seeing this in person once more. I may end up getting it. My partner does play Slanesh. So obviously not in 30k, but does play a little bit in 40k with demons, and mostly in AOS. I may get this for her, quote unquote, but then paint it up myself, because, oh boy, this looks excellent. All the Space Marine faces hanging off the cloak and stuff, just, such a good model, and yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. The only downside is that it's resin. I really wish it wasn't resin, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking this up eventually, one day. I just don't know if it'll be soon or not. I really do love this model. But yeah, let's just move on to the last thing for 30k. And for Heresy Thursday, we did actually get a proper article with a bit of information, but it is Legions Imperialis, of course, which has annoyed a lot of people. But obviously, you've got a Demon Primarch, and you've got a new Dreadnought, so don't complain too much. But yeah, we do have new Legions Imperialis boxes for the Night House battle group and the Titan battle group. And the long and short of it is they're repackaging the Titanicus models into Imperialis boxes. That's all it is. It looks good. It looks like a good selection. You get 12 Knights, and I think it's 4 Titans in each box. So not too bad. They are separate boxes, for the record. That's not one box total. That's 2 different boxes, a Knight box and a Titan box. And yeah, I'm definitely going to end up picking up the Knight box. Just because I like those designs. I'm probably going to be playing those pretty frequently when I'm playing Imperialis. But yeah, just a great selection of repackaged models. Very much looking forward to them, with obviously the new bases that we don't have for Titanicus right now. And yeah, just generally just some very, very nice models that we're going to be getting updates for. So yeah, that's really everything that we have to talk about for 30k. Let's go into the Mortal Realms. So, starting off with Age of Sigmar, we have Trugg the Troggoth King with Trugg's Troggherd, and yeah, it's a bunch of Troggoths, various Troggoths, or rather, it's the main character for them, but yeah, I believe these are all updated sculpts that we just haven't seen properly yet in the main picture. I could be wrong about that. I'm not too familiar with Troggoths. As much as they are Gloomspite Gits, and I do, quite enjoy my Gloomspite Gits, the Troggoth side of it is not something that I've ever been interested in. So, yeah, some very nice models. Trugg himself looks very good. I love the fact that he has, like, the... I also want to say it's a Seraphon World Gate or whatever on his back, but I don't think it is. But, yeah, just some very nice aesthetic cues. I love the little goblin thing that's on him. Just generally, like, the fact that his club is made out of a shell. Very interesting aesthetics going on here. But, yeah, just a very nice new Trogg character, which, can't complain too much about. As I say, as much as I like Gloomspite Gits, I'm not a Troggoth person, so I'm sure to someone that likes Troggoths, this is a way more interesting thing. But, yeah, I do own some Troggoths, so, it makes sense for me to get the character. I don't know, I don't care about them too much. I don't even have them built, the ones I own, but, yeah, just a new character for the Gloomspite Gits, for the Troggoth Legion, whatever you want to call it. And moving on to the part of orcs that I care a little bit more for, we have some new Ironjawz. So starting off, we have Zogrok Anvil Smasher, which is the new character, the new war boss, and he comes with Clonk, who's a little squig anvil thing, which looks very cute. But a lot of people have been saying that this guy could be easily converted for 40k orcs, and I do agree. I think you could pretty easily switch out his weapons and make him into a much more, 40k style orc, which is very nice. But yeah, Ironjawz in general are a very good aesthetic to me. I do really like them. And just generally, there's some very nice models that I really do enjoy seeing. And then moving on to the actual units, we do have new Brute Ragers, which are kind of your, what's the corn name for them? Berserkers. They're kind of like Berserkers, they're the shirtless ones with big weapons, big melee weapons that are running, and they look good. They look, perfectly orky, perfectly oricky, I guess, is the better word for that. And, yeah, I have no issue with these. They look good. I would definitely enjoy painting these. My paint scheme for Orc is purple skin, which is the same for my 40k orcs. Both of them just have purple skin because I like the meme. But yeah, just some very, very nice looking models, and just generally just something that I think, this kind of design for an orc is just very nice. Having the shirtless look, it's different. It makes a difference from having the heavily armored ones. So definitely something to look forward to. We also have the Weird Brute Wreckers, which are very much similar. They all have extra helmets and are all swinging around maces, even, not malices. They're all swinging around maces, which look very, very cool. Very similar aesthetics, shirtless, just bottom layer armor. But the helmets do really make them different. I don't really know too much about Ironjawz in terms of, what they have. So the fact they're weird brutes, I assume that's the same as Weird Boys, that they're like the magic ones. I don't know for sure though, and I'm sure someone will clear it up for me in the comments. But yeah, just some very, very nice new models, and we also have new Ard Boys, which look great. Just it's the general Ironjawz aesthetic. They all look very good. I guess the hammered in metal, covered in spikes and everything, covered in teeth and stuff, just look very good. The helmets that some of them have with the horns, like almost like elephant tusks and stuff, kind of look like Chaos Terminators in a way. Just look excellent. The various weapons all look great. Just in general, the posing is pretty good on these. They're very nice Ard Boys. I do quite like them. They're nothing that I'm overly interested in. Ironjawz is something that I do like the aesthetic of, but is never something that I'm overly sold on. But generally, they all look great. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the prices on these more than anything, because that will decide whether I actually end up getting them. But yeah, they look great, and otherwise, other than the fact that we're getting a new battle time supplement for the Ironjawz, there's not really too much else to talk about with them. But yeah, an entire, essentially, range refresh for the Ironjawz isn't too bad at all. The new Zogrok model looks excellent, and just in general, they all look pretty good to me. So very much looking forward to getting my hands on more of these. But yeah, at the very least, I'm definitely gonna pick up Zogrok. If for nothing else, Kronk. Just the little squig just looks excellent, and yeah, we can move on. So obviously staying in the Mortal Realms, but moving over to Warcry, we have the new Hunter and Hunted bundle, which includes a bunch of new, I guess they're ogres, but they're called something different. They're called Morgers? Morpack? They're a Morpack. They're very interesting models. They're not normal ogres. They're very skinny. From what I understand in the lore, they are just always hungry. Like, their metabolism is just so ridiculously high that, they can never be satiated, which is very interesting for an ogre. And these are definitely like Wendigo monsters, they have way too many teeth, they're covered in stuff stuck into them, like bones and teeth stuck into them. One of them has, like, a horn that's given them a hunchback, which is really interesting. One of them's blind. Actually, I think two of them are actually no, one of them definitely has an eye clear, but one of them is just straight up blind, which is really interesting. And they're all just so blood covered and just covered in trophies and just generally just look very, very interesting to me. And yeah, ogres, not something I'm interested in. I have one ogre model, and I do quite like it, but they're not something I'm too interested in. But these do look interesting. The Morpack looks very, very cool. And then, as the other side of this Warcry box, we do have some Cities of Sigmar hunters. And, yeah, they have some doggos, which is always nice. We've already seen some of these before. Especially, I think we've seen some of the dogs already. But, they look cool, I guess. They're not anything I'm too interested in, generally. Cities of Sigmar is not something I'm too interested in. They might be worth picking up just for the dogs, but I don't know. Warcry isn't a game mode that I care too much about. I'm much more of a fan of Underworlds. So, yeah, they're cool models. They look good, but not really anything I'm too interested in. But otherwise, we do get some terrain, which is something to do with ogres. I'm not sure. Does it say what it actually is? It's just covered in teeth. It's like a saw-like pit from Star Wars. But, yeah, it just looks very good. Very nice terrain piece. Very good display piece if you're wanting to just put some models on it. And, yeah, generally the Hunter and the Hunted Warband tome and stuff is coming out with that, and just looks very good. If you're a fan of Warcry, I'm sure this is very interesting to you. If not, though, if you're like me and just don't really care about Warcry, some nice models, but nothing I'm all too interested in personally. But moving on to the part of AOS that I care most for, Underworlds, which I've been playing a lot of recently, has a new expansion, the Deathgorge expansion, and, this one comes with two excellent armies, neither of which I'm overly interested in, but I'll get into it. I'm sure you'll understand in a moment why these are really good. We have a Slaaneshi warband for it, for one side of it, which has some really interesting looking demonettes, one of which is definitely gorging a little bit too much, but they all look absolutely excellent. They have some really, really nice models. As I've mentioned before, my partner plays Slaanesh, especially in terms of the AOS side of it, the Hedonites, and having units like this is just really good. I recently picked up the Underworlds, I can't remember which box it is, but one of the boxes that includes the Tzeentchian side of things, and I was basically saying to her at the time, just like, it's okay, they'll eventually have some Slaanesh representation in here. And they do. They now have Slaanesh in the warbands, which is really, really cool. I'm very much looking forward to seeing these models in person, because I'm going to be picking up this box. But yeah, the other side of the box is the Ilvaneth Deepkin, I believe. Is that what they're called? The Water Elves, and they're alright. They're fine. I have very little care for these for this army in general. I like the fish motif. I like the fact that their vehicles are turtles. But generally, I'm just not too interested in them. They do have some cool designs. This one includes a squid, which is really cool. They're all covered in, various different bits of marine life. The main character has, like, some jellyfish coming off her, which is really nice. Generally, they look great. I just don't care for them. but they're all right. They're fine. I do quite like the designs in general. They're just not something that I care about. Elves in general. I like some parts of Eldari, but otherwise I just don't really care for elves in general. But yeah, the squids are pretty good little piece of that. All of them look good. I just don't care too much for elves, so that's really all it comes down to. But yeah, that is everything for Underworlds, unfortunately. I was hoping that we'd get another warband separate, but yeah, Deathgorge looks great. Definitely picking that up, adding it to the collection, because I have quite a few of them right now. But yeah, very, very cool. I'm very much looking forward to more Underworlds in the future. And moving over slightly to fantasy, we have more Blood Bowl stuff with the Drakfang Thirsters, which is a bit on the nose in my opinion, but it's a vampire team, and they are very much based on like that old, like the 1900s depiction of vampires, like the film version of like classic vampires, and they look pretty cool. I don't have too much to say about them. The Blood Bowl at the end of the day, and they're not something that I'm specifically interested in. Vampires have never been something that I care too much about in Warhammer. But, yeah, they look pretty decent. The thralls are pretty nice. The vampires themselves look pretty good. And, yeah, generally, I'm sure if you're a fan of this kind of aesthetic, I know I've been talking to a few people that are really, really liking this Blood Bowl team. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But, yeah, for me, not really all too interesting. There's a few extra little bits, like a coffin, a ball covered in bats, little gargoyle creatures, some shields, just stuff like that. Just some nice little interesting characterization things for them to do with Blood Bowl, which I don't really understand too much, but yeah, they look pretty good. And it's nice to have Blood Bowl have something other than just a single character again. A full team is always nice to see, even if it's one that I'm not too interested in. But yeah, that is everything for Blood Bowl, and I think that brings us to the old world. And for some classic true fantasy, we have Élisse Duchaard, which I don't know if this is an existing character. The name sounds weirdly familiar, but this is a character riding on a unicorn. I think I've just sold that to most people that are interested. Like, it's a woman with a little chalice riding on a unicorn. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this has to do with. We've got some classic depictions of this character. 2 older versions shown off in the article, but yeah, it's a very nice model. It looks very nice. It reminds me a lot. The first thing I thought when I saw this, weirdly enough, was, wow, this would be a really good conversion for something to do with Blood Angels. I don't know why. That was legitimately the first thought when I saw this model. The during Nova Preview, actually, I saw this through a tweet, and all I could think was, wow, this will make a great Blood Angels model for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's the chalice and the connotations I have with unicorns and blood because of Harry Potter. But yeah, this model looks excellent. I'm sure I'll pick this up as a painting project. I do like my horse ride characters, and this one's just excellent. It being a unicorn as well just makes it even better. But yeah, Élisse Duchaard, very interesting looking model, very cool for Old World, and yeah, that is everything for. Well, that's everything for the Nova previews and everything for Fantasy as well. Which leaves us with just one more topic to go over, and that is the Warhammer Rumour Engine for the 29th of August, 2023. And it's some tattered up wings. Now, this could be a lot of things. I tend to lean, when we see stuff like this, I tend to lean either towards Armies of Death from Age of Sigmar or something Chaos related. I'm leaning more towards Armies of Death, though I don't know which one it would be. It could be something vampiric. It could be something a little bit more like a skeleton dragon or something. I'm not really too sure what to go with, but yeah, very much something that looks very interesting to me. Something that I feel like will be a really cool model when we see it. I just don't really know what to expect from it. But yeah, we've got some it's skeleton wings, some fleshy bits hanging between them. Looks very nice, looks very cool and creepy and gross, but yeah, there's not really much else to say about it, unfortunately. So, on that note, that is going to be it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new, and ring that bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, comment below what you think of any of the topics we've talked about. I'm very interested in knowing what people's thoughts are on the various Nova previews. I know there's a lot of them, but if there's something that specifically caught your eye and you want to talk about, feel free to tell me in the comments below. I'll definitely try and reply to as many as I can. But In any case, that's going to be it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divine. I just wanna take